So let's try and see if we can use 30 minutes to do this one. It's also an interesting area. Those of you who are working in the bank, we have Exchange of Information Act. You may be operating in Ghana or you may have bank accounts in Ghana, but your information is outside there. I think in 2018, we passed a law that enables Ghana to exchange information for tax purposes. So Article 26 is also important. Okay. Now, you remember that one of the objectives, and this objective, this 5 objectives, watch it out, watch it out, because we said that it's examinable. Objectives of treaties. Why do we enter into treaty? One of it is exchange of information. If Ghana and UK signs a treaty, we can exchange information. Without information, tax authorities are helpless. That is why filing of returns and documents are so critical to the tax authorities, and in every tax administration, they need information. Only information and they can't do anything. So exchange of information key, and that's why Article 26 is dedicated to exchange of information, and we are going to look at it. Normally, we are happy with questions like that. So in February 2020, look at a question like this. I need someone to read for me. Mabel is offline. Samuel say, do me a favor. The more you read, the more you understand. Samuel say,
so the kids are disturbing me, so it's okay. That's why I'm quiet today.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, go.
Mabel, are you back?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I want you to read for me so that you understand.
Okay. You are a tax official working in the Exchange of Information Unit of Ghana Revenue Authority. You have been asked to respond to several inquiries relating to the exchange of information with tax authority in South Africa, Netherlands, Italy, and France. A request came from South Africa Authority, which begins with an observation from the previous year's data that taxpayers in South Africa have often failed to disclose foreign source income. South Africa requests the names of all shareholders in Company X operating from Ghana who are resident in South Africa, and information on any dividend paid to them. Company X has a very popular brand in Ghana and has large shareholders. B. Mr. Johnson Walker, a resident of Netherlands, in the course of an ongoing tax investigation, it has been identified that Mr. Johnson Walker failed to declare his bank with the Agricultural Development Bank in Ghana. Netherlands also suspects that accounts may have been opened in the name of Mr. Johnson Walker's daughter, Phyllis. Phyllis is the daughter of the beneficial owner. Netherlands requests information on all accounts with Agricultural Development Bank held in both Mr. Johnson Walker and Miss Philip Walker's names. C. Yesterday, you reviewed a request for information from the Revenue Department of France. The file, however, is back on your table today as it has been discovered that a loan application which is subjected to such exchange of information contains a secret trade formula. D. Your junior colleague has just sent you an email asking you to differentiate between spontaneous exchange of information on request, and automatic exchange information. He believes that information that has recently been obtained upon request from Italy could be of interest to South Africa Tax Authority. Assume that no exchange of information agreement exists between Italy and South Africa. Required, what will be your response to each request? State reasons for your responses. 20 marks.
So you see, when you've not done this one, the whole thing looks plenty. But these are real things that are occurring in the business world. As consultants, and you are likely to come across some of these things. They are real things taking place. Unfortunately, our revenue authorities are not too loud about it, but they are taking place. Look at 2019. Can we remember here then? Question 5. May. Maybe are you there?
Okay, let me try.
Okay.
The Common Reporting Standard is a global standard for the automatic exchange of financial account information for tax purposes. It is designed to maximize efficiency and minimize costs to tax administrations and financial institutions. In Ghana, the Common Reporting Standard is operated under the Standard of Automatic Exchange of Financial Account Information Act 2008 at 967. Required. Describe in detail the institutions that have reporting obligations in Ghana.
Good. If you are working in the bank, this act is very familiar to you. If you have been dealing with any foreign company, your information is exchanged. So those of you who have secret bank accounts, be careful. One day you can be fished out. If you know you have some bank account in Dubai or someplace, and you have not been paying the taxes on it, yesterday, we can catch you. Then in February 2019, question 5B, it says that write short notes on the following types of exchange of information for tax purposes. So that can also fetch you like 10 marks. August 2018, question 4. The existence of bearer, no, let me look at B. No, let me read the whole question. The existence of bearer shares regime and bearer banks accounts in some jurisdictions threaten the standard on exchange of information for tax purposes. Required. To what extent do bearer shares and bearer banks accounts affect the standard on exchange of information for tax purposes? 9 marks. What are the advantages and disadvantages of bearer shares to a person?
So what is bearer shares? Bearer accounts. Or we are here to go there?
Yes, we are here to go there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We're here to go there. The day we examined this thing, people were almost say, oh, we're doing it. So when we say a bearer share, it's a security or it's a share in which or which is owned by an entity who have the physical certificate. So like the name, the bearer of this shares is the owner of it. We'll come and look at it. Okay. But it's an instrument. It's one of these instruments. We'll come and discuss it in details. And you notice that in international tax avoidance, many people use this one. Many companies use some of these ways to avoid being known. Okay. You don't when you say you have a bearer share, you don't need to be registered in the books of the person. You know, if you have a shareholder in MTN's, if you're a shareholder in MTN, your name must be in the register. Anna. Yes. But when we come to bearer share, you don't need to be registered. As long as I hold it, I'm the owner. You get it? What's that? Yeah, there are funny instruments around the world. I'm not sure we have some in Ghana, but it's one where people stay away from disclosing their foreign income. This Panama Papers. I don't know whether you're following the journalists. Panama Papers, which disclose some hidden assets in some countries. The law is that if you have assets somewhere and you earn income, you must bring it to Ghana for us. But in most cases, people don't bring it. So the exchange of information, if we're able to
Go
exchange,
to where Kobe is, please go.
if we're able to exchange information and we have a treaty with another country, we'll be able to tell, say, Osei has some serious dividend he has been receiving. Now, let me tell you how people do it. Imagine you have shares in UK, okay? Or let's say you have some huge loan in UK. Then you are paid $1 million every year. Per the law, you are supposed to bring it to Ghana. You remember section 3. If you are a resident person, all your total income. If you have paid any tax in UK, we'll give you a credit for it. Bring all your income to Ghana, let us tax you. After we have finished taxing you, then we'll look at any credit that you are entitled. Imagine Osei says, I'm not bringing the money into Ghana because GRA has no information. They have no means of getting that. They have no means of knowing that I have $1 million in UK. What Osei will do is that Osei will just simply use that money to import goods and bring it into Ghana. You will pay a customs duty, ASA. So he will not pay income tax on such income. And Osei can do all he can to, bring the goods down. He has evaded tax. He didn't pay any income tax. But me, if I have income in Ghana, I'll pay tax on my income. Let's say it's investment income or whatever. I'll pay tax on my Ghanaian income. When I go and use it to import goods into Ghana, I'll pay customs duty. So who has cheated who? Am I not being cheated?
Yeah.
Osei has evaded the tax. So that is why we are saying that exchange of information is for tax purposes. Okay. Exchange of information is critical. In 2016, we examined another one on this exchange of information. Because on the global level, it's a very big topic being discussed. He said that Ghana, as a member of the Global on Transparency and Exchange of Information for Tax Purposes, has undergone the phase 2 peer review. The phase 2 peer review assigned Ghana ratings for each of the 10 essential elements of the standards of transparency and exchange of information. The ratings were based on the progress made by Ghana in addressing the determination and recommendations made in the phase 1 review report and the effectiveness of exchange of information in practice. Ghana was given an overall rating of largely compliant based on the ratings of the 10 elements. The overall rating of largely compliant places Ghana among countries like Brazil, Germany, Hong Kong, United Kingdom, and the United States in terms of tax transparency and exchange of information for tax purposes required. List the 10 essential elements of the standards of transparency and exchange of information. And what is the standard for exchange of information for tax purposes? Please, after class, just kindly Google this area. Google it and read a little bit about it. There are so many data out there, so much information that you can easily scan through and get this concept. It's about we exchanging information. And it is in the article, it's in the treaty. Article 26 says, the competent authorities of the contracting state shall exchange such information as is foreseeably relevant. Now, look at it all. Foreseeably relevant. This terms we will expect you to, play with it. What does it mean? When we say foreseeably relevant, what does it mean? As is foreseeably relevant for carrying out the provisions of this convention or to the administration or enforcement of the domestic laws concerning taxes of every kind and description imposed on behalf of the contracting state or of their political subdivisions or local authorities, insofar as the taxation thereunder is not contrary to the convention. The information is not restricted by Article 1 and 2. In other words, we are saying that if the information is foreseeably relevant, I have a right to request for it. And that is why in some of the questions that may be read, we see some tax authorities asking for the shareholder register because they think that they have earned dividends in Ghana that they are not disclosing. Some of them are having bank accounts in ADB that they are not disclosing. They want to see what has been going into the bank account. But it must be foreseeably relevant. And again, the information that we need is not only related to income tax or whatever. Article 1 and 2 list the persons covered and then the taxes covered. We don't limit it to it. Anything we want, as far as it is foreseeably relevant in carrying out the provisions of this convention or the local law. So if my local law says that Rachel is a resident person in Ghana, Rachel is supposed to disclose all income. If Rachel has some shares in some country, I can request for the share certificates from my competent authority, my counterpart in that country, that please, I want to be sure what number of shares Rachel has in UK, because she has not been telling us anything. She's been earning dividend, but she's not been disclosing it. So please give us a share certificate. When was the shares acquired? And then if I get that information, it has nothing to do with income tax, but share certificate may be relevant for me to enforce my domestic law. So I will request for it. 2, any question? Rachel, any question? Or we can proceed.
Yes, please.
Okay. 2 says, any information received under paragraph 1 by a contracting state shall be treated as secret. This is also one of the requirements. You have to treat it as secret in the same manner as information obtained under the domestic laws of the state, and shall be disclosed only to persons or authorities, including courts and administrative bodies, concerned with the assessment or collection of the enforcement or prosecution in respect of the determination of the appeals in relation to the taxes referred to in paragraph 1, or the oversight of the above. Such persons or authorities shall use the information only for such purposes. They may disclose information in public court proceedings or in judicial decisions. Notwithstanding the foregoing, information received by a contracting state may be used for other purposes when such information may be used for such other purposes under the laws of both states and the competent authority of the supplying state authorities such use. 3, in no other case shall the provisions of paragraph 1 and 2 be construed so as to impose on a contracting state the obligation. And this is very important. We are saying, say, the fact say you can ask information does not mean say, then you are coming to ask me. So we are saying that in no other case shall 1 and 2 be construed to impose obligation on the contracting state, A, to carry out administrative measures that are variance with the laws and administrative practice of that or of the other contracting states. If you ask me to come and do something which is contrary to my administrative measures in Ghana or administrative laws in Ghana, I won't do it. For example, you are in UK. The fact said there's a tax treaty between Ghana and UK. Then you say, oh, there's exchange of information. Then you ask me to go and ask some information which is contrary to privacy in Ghana. I can't do it. Maybe in your country it is allowed, but if it is not in line with my local laws or administrative laws, you can't force me. It is not. It doesn't create an obligation. Exchange of information should not create an obligation on me if it is contrary to administrative practices in Ghana. Is that okay? You know, in UK, their tax enforcement is very strong. In the United States, for example, once you are taxer, it may show too. But in Ghana, it's not too strong as you may be thinking. Okay, so if administratively we don't normally do it, and you are forcing people to come and do it, I mean, that obligation cannot be on us. 2, to supply information which is not obtainable under the laws or in the normal course of the administration of that or of the other contractors. So this one, I need you to pay attention to it, because in the questions that we discussed, is the information obtainable? You want me to go and get share certificate of the one that maybe read. See here. A request came from South Africa Authority, which begins with an observation from the previous year's data that the taxpayer in South Africa have often failed to disclose foreign source income. South Africa requires the names of all shareholders in company X. How can I go and get all the names of the shareholders from a company? Is the information obtainable? So you need to put the request within this context. Check and see if it is this information that is obtainable under the laws or in the normal course of the administration of the contracting state. If it's not possible, don't worry me. C, to supply information which would disclose any trade, business, industrial, commercial, or professional secrets. Okay. So if you want me to disclose information, which and the lawyers will have to help us here. Rachel, can you disclose trade secrets to somebody?
No, please.
Mm-hmm. And in the question, Mabel, you read say there was a trade secret. Which one was that? Mabel, look at C. Yesterday, you reviewed a request for information from the Revenue Department of France. The file, however, is back on your table today as it has been discovered that a loan application which is subject to such exchange of information contains a secret trade formula. So the person applied for a loan, then you requested for some documents. Now in the document, there's a trade secret inside. Ordinarily, don't share. So that's what the commentary is saying. It is not an obligation on me. And in most cases, the bank and the loan applicant have a confidentiality agreement. Say you cannot disclose it. So if it is trade, business, industrial, commercial, or professional secret or trade process or information, the disclosure of which will be contrary to public policy or the public, I don't even know what it means. 4, if information is requested by a contracting state in accordance with this article, the other contracting state shall use its information gathering measures to obtain the requested information, even though that other state may not need such information for its own tax purposes. The obligation contained in the preceding sentence is subject to the limitations of paragraph 3, but not in all cases shall such limitation be construed to permit a contracting state to decline to supply information. Yes, so we are saying, say, look, you have an obligation, but don't hide behind it and also decline most of the things that we are going to. This is a treaty. And we've agreed, say, you help me, I help you. So if I need it to enforce my local law, you need to help me. 5, in no case shall the provisions of paragraph 3 be construed to permit a contracting state to decline to supply information solely because the information is held by a bank, other financial institution, nominee or person acting in any agency or fiduciary capacity, or because it relates to ownership interest in a person. So this is what the exchange of information is, and that is why we are saying that it is an objective of tax treaty. It's very important because of globalization. People are hiding information and they are evading tax. Now in Ghana, almost every bank is obliged under this act. And I will kindly ask you, go and look for this act. Okay. This act. It is very short act. This act. Who will share with us? Maybe the lawyers. Kindly share if you have it. Share with us. We'll look at it. I'm sure you can also Google it. Any volunteer to share with us? It's a Barrister Kisiedu or Barrister Rachel. You'll share with us.
All right, tomorrow I'll look for it and share.
So share with us and let's just have a quick look at it and then how it looks like. When we get it, please look at the institutions that have been listed who have the reporting obligations. So immediately Ghana has signed this automatic exchange of information. They are supposed to exchange that information, but which companies or which institutions have the obligation? Every month, is it every year or every quarter? I don't know. They are supposed to share that information with our counterparts. Your bank information is gone to UK or US. Okay, so we'll receive it and then we'll go through it. Any question? I think we can end here. Next week, we'll go into it and then we'll look at the information that can be shared and those that cannot be shared. Any question? Who has a question? Okay. Let's end here. When are we coming back? Rachel?
15 minutes time.
10:30.
30. Okay, so 9:25. 10:25. Please, when you are coming, come with a calculator.
Okay, sir.
Come with the calculator because we are going to do calculation. We'll go slowly because of the numbers. We'll
So 10:25. You're coming back.
10:25.